this point, I recognize the chairman of the full committee, Mr. Steil, for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Chair Loudermilk. Appreciate you holding today's hearing on the oversight of the U.S. Capitol Police Office of Inspector General. As chairman, one of my priorities has been to depoliticize Capitol security. I think we've got to increase transparency and accountability within the Capitol Police, and it requires an independent Inspector General. And I've been concerned that the OIG lacks that independence necessary to properly do its job. And I know it's in part due to OIG's unique reporting structure. The U.S. Capitol Police Board selects and oversees the OIG. And as we continue to review potential reforms to the board, OIG independence must be part of that conversation. During today's hearing, we must also address how OIG is handling whistleblowers who come forward. There's been recent allegations made by whistleblowers against the current IG's leadership that are highly concerning. And I want to assure all those who are tuning into today's hearing that this committee takes all whistleblower allegations seriously, and we're committed to protecting you. Now, Mr. Russo, can I ask, I'm going to dive into a series of questions here. How many U.S. Capitol Police Office of Inspector General reports have been made public?
Right. 2, sir.
Out of how many?
I think that we have, you mean the universe of all reports? We've completed, since inception of the office, about 650 reports.
And 2 were made public?
Yes, sir.
And are you obligated to make those reports public?
No, sir.
No.
Previous to the newest direction to come up with a process to publicize them, there was actually a directive from the board, I feel like it was 2017, that instructed reports not to be published.
So in 2017, there's an instruction to not make them public. Now there's an instruction to make them public, but out of that, only 2 of a large number have been made public. What's the process for making a U.S. Capitol Police OIG report public?
So when I got here, we finalized that process, which includes our office, the IG office, looking over the reports to ensure security-sensitive information isn't disseminated. We then send it to the department for them to go through and ensure there was nothing, again, sensitive information. And then ultimately it goes to the board council, board staff to do their evaluation. After that's complete, it comes back to my office and it gets posted on the OIG website.
And after a report's completed, is it submitted to the Capitol Police Board? Is that the final destination of the report? Who do you submit the report to upon a report being completed?
Exactly. It goes to the police chief and his team for response. They have an opportunity in so many days to respond back to the recommendations in terms of discussion of corrective action plans. And then ultimately, shortly after that, we send it off to the board, and then we send it off to the committees.
And do you personally support making OIG reports public?
Yes, sir.
So you don't have a problem with the transparency that I think is important in contrast to what the 2017 rule was?
No, sir. In Florida, everything's open, so this is a completely different process up here.
Do you currently feel that you have the full authority to make reports public? Or does someone else control that decision?
The board makes the decision on a case-by-case basis.
So the board makes the decision as whether or not an OIG report becomes public, not you?
Correct.
So the fact that they're required to be made public by Congress, that's a decision-making process, you're saying, by the Capitol Police Board, not a decision-making process by you?
Correct.
And have you spoken to the Capitol Police Board about making OIG reports public?
Not outside of our process to make them public. My sense is that now we have fulfilled the guidance of the last Congress to get these reports publicized. We developed the process. Again, as you pointed out, we've put 2 online, and I think there's 6 or 7 in review now. I would anticipate those becoming public more rapidly.
And who do you have those conversations with to increase the speed at which those are becoming public?
Just through my staff who talk to the next, the contacts in the department, and then they converse with the contacts at the board. And I've seen some group email. I think now that we have all the folks around the table, so to speak, that need to be part of the review, it should be a little bit more rapid.
Okay, I'll come back and follow up on this in the second round of questioning. I appreciate you being here today. Mr. Chairman, I'll yield back.